Welcome back, aliens. My name is Arvind Reddy, and in this video, we'll talk about Claude Code. Now, we are in the agentic era, and we are using agents in different domains. Now, when it comes to coding, there are different ways of writing a code, right? Where in this era of AI and agentic, basically, we can write code as a traditional way where you can type everything and then you build the application. Again, that becomes very old school now. The other place is something like a chatbot. So normally when this boom started, we started using ChatGPT and other tools as a platform where you can write a good email, right? So email is not something which you like to write. So basically what you do is you take the help of the ChatGPT or other tools or chatbot in general, I can say. Same goes for the coding. Now what we used to do is we used to give a problem statement and then we used to get the code and then we used to copy that code and paste it in your IDE and just hope that it will work. Chatbots are great. So when you talk about LLMs, they are great. They do their job perfectly, right? Hopefully. It depends upon what prompt you type. But when you build application, it's not a small thing, right? Because there are a lot of things which goes into it. First of all, you have to understand the business case. You have to convert that into a design. Then you write code. Then you write test cases. You deploy it. A lot of things goes there, right? And when you do it only with the LLM as a chatbot, you're not utilizing the full power of it. Now, if you look at LLM, they are like a brain. But if you really want to use that brain, you need the body as well. So even if I say I want to eat something and if it's sitting just there, my brain can't do that. I need a body, right? So that's what we call as a harnessing the power of your brain. In the same way, if you have this LLM models, how do I harness it? There are different ways of doing that. There are different tools available. So instead of just having a brain, using it as a chatbot, we can also use it to perform actions. So let's say if you're building an application, you're not going to your ChatGPT to paste, this is what I want to do, and then it will give you a code which you will paste manually. Of course, human interaction should be there. But then what exactly you're asking for, maybe you will not be able to give everything to the chat model. Now, when you have a big application, there are a lot of files there. How will you talk about your files to the ChatGPT? That's the problem. Now, what you can do is you can use some AI coding assistants. Now, this is where we got different tools available. Of course, you can go into that vibe coding way. Now, again, this course is not a vibe coding structure where we can simply say, this is the application which I want to build, and it will give you the code. I mean, everyone has done that at least once in our lifetime now, where you have taken subscription of something and then you start doing the vibe coding. There are different platforms available where you can also do no coding or no code platforms where you can just describe your problem statement. It will give you the application. But if you observe, there are a lot of work, there are a lot of repetitive things which you do. Basically, you get something, then you type, hey, this is not what I want this, and it will do the entire stuff again. And what you're losing in doing those things is you're losing your time, because I did that way back last year. I was all in the vibe mode where I said, okay, this is what I want. Ultimately, I was able to build it. But a lot of iterations went into it. I wasted a lot of tokens. Last year, tokens were cheap. This year, tokens are very costly. In fact, AI is costly. We were getting discounted price. I think even now we are getting discounted price. So we're not going to go for vibe coding. What we will do is, when you build big applications, normally you don't start your thing with writing code. What normally you do is you create the design, you create the specs, and if you follow these specs and when you build application, we call it as a spec-driven development. And this is a very old concept. We used to do that. I remember when I was in my college, in my second year, we had this subject called software engineering, and there's an entire chapter on how do you create specs, the specifications, and how do you follow that. I never took that seriously because for us, when you have to build application, we say, okay, what should be my first file? What should I write as a first line of my file? That's our main intention. But especially in this era where you can use AI and it is so powerful now, if you can provide proper specs, it will help you to build it according to your spec, and you can mention everything, what are the conventions, what are the architecture you want to follow. And that's what we are going to follow in this course as well. Now, Claude Code is basically a agentic tool. So in fact, let me just take you to the docs. So it says Claude Code is an agentic coding tool that reads your code base, edit files, run commands, integrate with your development tools. Now, this is important. Now, with the LLM, of course, it can't read your project files and stuff. So what you do is you basically, when you use Claude Code, you're giving the entire access to for your project, not just reading your project, writing it, editing files, running commands. That's what you do as a developer, right? So now at this point, any developer, doesn't matter, you are just coming to the industry, you're not a junior developer. You become a senior developer. Now, who is your junior developer here? That's your coding assistants. And in this case, when you say we are using Claude Code, they are your junior developers. They are smart, they are energetic, they are smart. They don't get tired, but yes, they have a token limit. They will not work beyond the working hours. That's what I can say now. But they can do all those things provided you tell exactly what you want. Okay. So that becomes very important here. Now, Claude Code is not the first tool to do that, right? So we got different tools available before. I used Copilot a lot, then Cursor we have. The problem with, again, these tools are awesome, but they have been built as an IDE first platform where you get the extension and then you work with the IDE. But Claude Code is a terminal native, and it's not not the only platform available, or not only tool available. There are different tools as well, but then it does its job very good. Okay, so just to highlight again, when you say Claude.ai, where you go and talk to it, imagine that's a brain which can talk and listen. Claude Code is basically a body, and you have given the keyboard access and the mouse access as well, where you can type and do the clicks for you. So that's Claude Code.